Welcome back. This week our topic is one that basically applies to everyone, business owners, consumers alike, whether you buy or you sell. Today we're going to deconstruct the ever-evolving customer, and for that we speak to a Jersey boy, CEO of an internet marketing company and author of the book, Mommy, Where Do Customers Come From? I would like to welcome Larry Bailin. Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for having me, Eric.
All right, so, you know, we were talking about this topic. I was speaking about this topic with our producer, and we saw the first chapter, one of the first chapters of the book. It's who the hell is this guy? And we knew we had to have him on. So let's talk about the title of the book. First, the title, sure. And why write the book?
I wrote the book, one, because I wanted to read it, and two, the title came about primarily for my clients. Everyone is interested in internet marketing. They want to know what they can do for their business, how to get customers, but it's this daunting, overwhelming topic for most people. I think it's very technical, and it's not. The technology is fairly irrelevant. The technology nowadays gets the message from A to B. It's what sits on top that's important, and most companies know how to speak to a customer. So I wanted this book to be very simple and not intimidating. So I gave it a title that you would essentially give to a children's book. But if you've read it, which I know you have, it's a very easy read. There's nothing very technical about it. It talks about sales and marketing fundamentals and how they apply to internet, search engines, social media, so on and so forth.
And a lot of things, a lot of aspects really, when you think about it, are common sense when you think about how to appeal to a customer.
Absolutely.
And I think that consumers can learn a few things from this also, because I think that in some ways, you know, they get a little bit of the insight as to how the businesses try and tug at the heartstrings.
Absolutely. And nowadays, businesses need to change what they do and how they speak to a customer. I do a lot of public speaking across the country, and one of the topics I talk about is this ever-evolving customer. And as a business owner, we know that we have to adapt to the customer as opposed to expecting the customer to adapt to us. Mm-hmm. So everything in this world now is bottom-up. It's from the customer up to you instead of people trying to push their message down to the customers. Customers have more information at their fingertips than they've ever had before.
And the rules have all changed basically in the past few years. In part, we've had the recession. The recession has changed a lot in terms of buying and spending habits, but then you have all of the social sites, the Facebooks and the Twitters. Talk about that. What are you advising companies to do?
It's, again, it's another topic that businesses are very leery about. It reminds me of actually the early days of the internet. Companies wanted to see if it was a fad, if it was going to go away, if it was important, what their competitors were doing, and it was a wait-and-see attitude. And that didn't pan out well for a lot of businesses. This is not a fad, it's not going away. It is how people are interacting with each other. Again, it's not new. Social media, like Facebook and Twitter, as you mentioned, is a combination of sociology and technology. They've just intermingled. If you look at cave painting, that is essentially a Facebook page. You know, how many oxen I have, how many deer I've killed, yep. Here's my wives, that kind of thing. It's the same thing. It's just like networking offline. You're doing the same thing. You're selling but not selling. It's subtle persuasion. It's very powerful. We do this for a lot of our clients. It's building a following. It's building this all-important top-of-mind awareness, creating a sphere of influence to get your message out. Some people call it the new PR. I think it's a piece of it, but it's really about what you say and how you use it. Again, the tool is irrelevant. I think knowing how to use Facebook and Twitter is maybe 10% of it. The other 90% is the message. I always say that you can't be catapulted to success unless you have something worth flinging into the air. And that's how social works. You have to contribute. You can't interrupt. You have to be there and build relationship, because that's what networking is all about, whether it's online or offline. Twitter and Facebook are extremely powerful, and every day they become more powerful.
Companies and business owners have to be willing to adapt. Adaptation is a huge component of this. Just the other day I was listening to, it was an interview with Mayor Michael Bloomberg in the city, sure. And he was talking about changing the way companies do business and being willingness to go green, basically, and adapt their business models to the whole green craze. Mm-hmm. And a lot of businesses that don't do that are being left behind, and who knows what could happen to them.
And that's, there's a lot of good quotes out there. I don't know who said them, but I always like to use them. There's those that wait for the storm to pass, and then there's those that dance in the rain. Mm. I've always felt that I was one of those that danced in the rain. I think things are an opportunity for a reason, and opportunities last for just a short period of time. It's a window of opportunity, and I think social is a window of opportunity. even though it's changing buyer habits, it's changing the way people find products and services, your competitors are out there too, and you can't wait for them to succeed in it before you even step your toe into the water.
Isn't there a fine line, though, for instance, targeting people on social sites and, well, let's say annoyance, for instance, because there really is, there are only so many email blasts or so many tweets that you can get before you say enough already.
Yeah, I think as soon as the Nigerian dictators get on Facebook, we'll hit that part. Yeah, I agree. If it's done correctly, though, you shouldn't be annoying. You shouldn't be interrupting. If you've ever been to any business has been to a local chamber of commerce event or any kind of networking event, you don't walk in the front door and try to sell the first person you meet. I'm selling cars, I'm selling this, I'm selling life insurance. It's always, well, what can I do for you? How can I help you? Tell me about you. Maybe I can introduce you to some people. It's always about what you can do for someone else. Social's the same thing. If you go in with a different attitude of, I'm going to try to hard sell somebody, I'm going to put my products up here and sales and prices, people will tune you out. I think Webster's dictionary, I'm pretty sure it was Webster's, one of the top words of 2009 was defriend, and which is amazing.
Yeah.
Which is absolutely amazing. It's easy enough to defriend someone. You'll lose that person's attention if you don't do the right things. So it's very important to share, and that's what the web has become. It is sharing. It's not interruption, like you said. The biggest thing is we're entering a new decade, and the things that have taken businesses through this decade will definitely not get them through the next. All
right, Larry Bailin, we're going to have to leave it there. Thank you so much for
great.
coming on the show.
A pleasure.
Great topic. And again, our thanks to Larry Bailin. He is the author of the book, Mommy, Where Do Customers Come From? Any questions or comments, send them to me at itsyourmoney@news12.com. We'll be right back.